This is me and Dirk finals. I don't even know Dwyane. Thank you for your points and your contribution.
I know, bro.
This was me and Dirk finals. I can't. Everything else was a blur because I was
points
so.
and your contribution.
Listen, everything else was a blur because I was so locked in on this task. Yes.
Talk to me.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Okay. This will be similar to Shaquille's interview. This will be great. Dwyane, carry the load, baby.
I don't remember.
Okay, that's great. Gentlemen, first things first. Does it feel like 20 years have passed since that beautiful Uncle Larry was in your arms in the catacombs in Dallas?
Nah, initially it doesn't, and then when I start to try to replay the moments in my mind, then it definitely feels like 20. It definitely feels like 20.
When I look at the photos, that's when it feels like 20 years. I had hair, I was wearing glasses, I had a mustache. I'm wearing glasses again, so that came back around.
You gotta get a little more.
I cannot see. What is something that people do not talk about that they should?
That's a great question.
Oh, look at that.
Listen, I realize everyone says it's a good question when they don't have an answer right away.
No, usually
There's
it's just
always
when I ask a good question.
Oh man, I got one. Connection.
Okay. You know what? Because when I think about that team, I'm always thinking about who would necessarily, other than Pat Riley, who would get all of these personalities, all of these backstories, and make it work. And you're saying connection was probably top of the list.
Yes. Because all you had to do was throw a party, and we was in it.
It was.
This was
Unconventional.
I'm gonna be honest. This was the time.
Unconventional.
See, they don't party no more. They don't go out no more.
Not like you all did.
This was the time where, and I wasn't getting paid like that. So, because I was just, but you can ask the stars. You can make about 15, 20 grand, and you show up to a party for an hour. That was a lot of money to him at one time.
Don't do that.
If he was
still a lot of
having a
money.
party in the city, Flash,
Yeah.
party.
We
Shaq,
bonded. We
party.
bonded a lot.
Gary Payton, party. Antoine Walker, somebody was having something.
You all bridged the last part of the party era. Or I should say, the street.
No, Jax.
In the community.
Do not take out the connection part. Don't
Right,
worry about the
connection. I
party.
said connected.
Don't worry about
Bridge.
what's happening at
My
that
bad.
party.
See, I
We was
gotta-
connecting.
We was connecting even
Yes,
when
we
we was
was
at the party.
connecting. It was a connected group of guys.
That was we gotta get love to Big Fella on that. Shaq made sure that we all moved as a unit.
Yes.
And so even when we did, like we had rules, 2 hours on, like we had like time limits, like everybody moving together. We only stand out 2 hours. This is what we doing. We all coming back together. Everyone's like we
You
had
must leave
rules
together.
to it
There was
too.
a creed.
Yeah, it was like
You go together and you leave together.
Yeah.
No
I
man
love
left
that.
behind.
I love
Even
that.
though I wanted to be,
Sometimes just
No
get
man
away,
left behind.
get away
We
from the
gotta get
pack
up out- yeah,
a
everybody
little
gotta
bit. Is there a particular story? Because it sounds like there's many. But is there one that is the top story from that 05-06 team?
Top story like what?
Well, that's complicated, Dwyane. I think you get to decide that part of it.
What kind of do you want to hear, Jack?
Yeah.
Well, we're all about engagement, buddy. But there will be grandmothers and children watching this, and everybody in between.
Yeah. I mean, I got one. I mean, for me personally, and I think we all have them, one of the key moments was for me when GP and I got into it in Chicago. GP got me outside of myself
And when
a
I
little
looked
bit.
up and saw you all bark, because I used to sit baseline in Chicago, and I was like, oh, hell, is this good or bad? I'm not sure.
You know, GP talk to you bad and loud,
Oh,
too.
my God.
Like, GP just loud when he say something. You know him. He
People
don't.
are there.
Yeah,
everybody
he
Disrespect.
just talk to me.
Disrespectful, that
my
Oakland.
grandma right here, bro. Don't speak to me in this tone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was a moment.
But that was a moment for me. But I think you got to go through that. You have to go through uncomfortable moments. And it's unfortunately that sometimes they play out in front of others and in front of the world, right? We've all had them. But it was a moment of growth. And even though it don't seem like it at the time, but that was important for us as we was going through something for the first time together. All of us was trying to chase something. Shaq was the only one that had it. None of us knew how to get it. And so it's some frustration that comes with it. It's some uncertainty that comes with it. And so you go through those moments, then you can overcome, because at the end of the day, like, this person got my back. Like I know GP, we wanted to box at that moment, but ain't nobody else out there going to be able to say nothing to me because GP, him and UD going to be one of the first ones.
In the
to jump
argument.
in.
Stop the argument.
Stop the argument. Be like, who the you talking to? Don't talk to him like that. So I knew that. I knew
Yes,
that.
sir. Yes, sir. How about you?
I had those kind of moments with everybody. So, for me, it was more just the opportunity to be around, a Shaquille O'Neal, a Gary Payton, a Pat Riley, Antoine Walker, and all these guys I had a chance to watch. I just remember just not wanting to let those guys down. These are guys who I, watch play the game of basketball, who I idolize, who have done so much. I'm new, I'm fresh, you know what I'm saying? I'm still young. So I just remember just the pressure of wanting to, make sure I impress those guys every day, and I did what I needed to do for those guys. That's kind of what I went with every day, because, for me, Shaq was one of my favorite players growing up. So I ain't never tell him that when I played with him, but, for me, I always wanted to make sure that.
Assumed it anyway.
Yeah, he probably did. Yeah, so for me, I just remember every day walking in the gym saying, I'm undrafted, I'm playing next to Shaq. Like, I got something to prove. Like, every day I got something to prove.
So the beginning of this championship run really starts with the end of the playoffs the year before.
The Detroit Pistons, coming from behind in the final minutes, have defeated the Miami Heat in Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Final.
I thought this was about the winning, Jack.
Yeah.
Man, you said we was going to talk about that.
Well, we're
You
getting-
said-
you said we was gonna go to the
Yeah, you
pit
said
of
we
our
was talking about the
stomach.
winning, Jack.
We're doing this. We're doing
okay,
this
so
right
now we
here.
going, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Dwayne, we'll start with you because I imagine you would have rather have been on the floor for all of that.
Yeah, we thought, obviously when you get to that place in the season, you think you're good enough to win a championship, right? So we thought we had the team. We thought we were good enough. We had a lot of confidence going into that season. And just to lose the way we lost at home, it stung. I remember going in the locker room, and I don't think I ever heard silence like that before. No one's looking at each other. Everyone's head is down. When you lose, you don't know you're going to lose. Like, you're not prepared to lose. Like, you see how it be like, you go the whole game, and then the last 5 seconds, see people eyes start watering when you realize it's over. And so I think once we got in the locker room, that's when we realized the season was done. And when you've given everything you have for roughly 9 months, and then it's just over with, and you don't feel like it should be, we feel like we should have won. We feel like we thought we were the better team. It hurt. Like, it hurt. And I just remember looking around a little bit at the guys and the veteran guys too, because it hurt them the same. Like, Shaq has been there before. He's already won 3. He felt the same way we felt. So I was just looking around like, dang, this is how it's supposed to feel. You know what I mean? In a sense, as a young guy, I'm like, oh, this is how I'm supposed to feel. That pit in my stomach is supposed to feel this way. So, yeah, it sucked though.
So you have that kind of, it's tough to call it a bottom moment, but it feels that way, even though you'd gotten to
It is the bottom, Jack.
the top.
We're from the Pat Riley school. It is the
Understood.
bottom.
Understood.
It's winning and it's misery.
Oh, Lord.
There is no in between.
You're right about it.
I teeter-totter with depression. No, straight up. Like,
I understand.
Yeah, like, it's not.
gotta
I
come
tell
out of the
people,
dark.
I tell people all the time, man, and this is just me being honest. And if you want to know the truth at home, for people that want to win a championship, it's fun when you get the parade.
That's it.
That's the only time
That's
it's fun.
it.
Isn't that
It's fun
insane,
when you
though?
get the parade. That's what you're working for. That is the fun part.
Yeah.
It's fun when you get
But
the
you
parade.
won your division. You go through these playoffs rounds, and you win those. You win the Eastern Conference title.
Not good enough for Pat Riley, sir. That
But
is
do
not
you
it.
understand
That's
the
what you
day-to-day
understand.
work and grind and that goes into doing all those things
Right.
in Miami?
Right. Yes, I do.
With the Heat,
Specifically.
like it
Right.
doesn't feel like that. It doesn't feel like the banner's been. We day to day. We can't focus on none of that, and they make sure they keep you as present as possible.
So you go through all of that. Let's just remind everybody. Now you're just going into your 3rd season, right? Like, you've gone through all of that. A big trade in your first year.
That
then
was year
this,
2.
and then that was year 2. Getting that close to it at home last 90 seconds, and now you don't know what's coming. There's so much coming. But how was your relationship evolving and growing together as you move into that 3rd year?
I mean, for me, day one, I had heard of Dwyane. A buddy of mine that I grew up with was, just a basketball head. He was like, man, I got this kid from Marquette, and he had a triple-double. And I was Marquette. I was like, because I played SEC. No disrespect to Marquette. I played in the SEC. I was like, who?
Well, it was against the SEC.
Yeah, I know that. That's what I'm saying. It was against Kentucky.
That's why you knew.
I was like, Marquette, I ain't never seen
I was like,
nobody
this
play for
SEC,
Marquette.
this sweet.
He was like, Dwyane Wade? I was like, really? I was like, okay, I got to check him out. So, obviously, I wasn't drafted, and he was drafted. So, we came in 2 different, positions, but we couldn't have been more alike. Our exterior, obviously, is different. The way we probably, communicate is different, but internally, I think we couldn't have been more alike and connected. And a lot of the things that we've experienced as young black men growing up, and to get to the point where we're at, so even between our connection, our mothers connected through their stories. So I think for me, when you talk about Dwyane is somebody who I connected with, I also felt like I found a brother at that point, because not too many people can endure or have endured the things that I haven't been through. So it's hard to speak on those things, and people can relate to them.
Great point.
Big facts. I mean, when you get drafted, I get drafted to a city I've never really been in. It sounds good now, all these years later, but like I'm a kid from Chicago, inner city. I went to Milwaukee, Wisconsin for college, and then I get drafted to Miami. I'm excited to be the 5th pick, but I'm also too nervous.
Dwyane Wade, rookie, Marquette.
I don't know this culture. I don't know nobody. So I'm coming here just like a fish out of water in a sense. And so getting an opportunity for UD and I to be together, because we both was rookies, we both was staying at the Mutiny, we both was on the same schedule. And then to the point where like you started to see it. You started to see us looking out for each other, checking on each other, making sure that, hey, I'm going to get this, I'm going to get food. And UD knew I didn't have a fan base. I didn't have a family out here, a base out here at the time. So he made sure that, hey, D, I'm going to get food. Hey, then my guys doing this. Hey, we going to watch the game. And so I got into, I had a big brother. I had somebody who was taking me around, somebody who was taking care of me, looking out for me. But also, too, like you said, I think what we really connected at is just understanding the journeys to get here. We obviously had our individual journeys, but the journeys before us started with our families. And our families had similar journeys, and our mothers had similar paths. And so, I knew from there that he had that same chip on his shoulder that I had. Then after I saw him play, that's the guy I want to play with.
Wade misses, rebound, Haslem. Put back inside and fouled. Oh, tough Udonis Haslem.
That's the guy I want to be around. That's the guy who's going to be my best friend, right? Because when you see somebody give up their body in practice in summer league, right. I'm like, who is this dude? And I just want to get connected to that energy, because I'm coming in, I'm trying to prove myself. Jax, I'm coming as the 5th pick. Everybody looking at me like I'm sweet.
Yes, sir.
No, they are. They're looking at it like, oh, you the 5th pick?
Yeah.
Well, you don't look like much to me. So I'm like, oh, he got something to prove, but I also got something to prove. And so, let's lock in. Let's prove it together.
To that point, in 05, 06, there's a transition to this becoming your team.
Yeah. I mean, that's obviously that vote of confidence from the vets I needed it. But I never was trying to make it my team. I was trying to be a part of winning. Yeah. We came into a 25-win program here. It took a lot. We didn't have some coaches changes when we came in. Pat said bye-bye, and then Pat said hello again. What's going on there? We just focused on
brought old Rothstein out of retirement.
Oh, yeah.
Brought old Ronnie back.
Brought old Ronnie back.
back.
There was a lot going on when we got here, Jack. So we was just trying to get some respect, though. Yeah. We had no respect when we got here. Nobody cared. Nobody. Yeah. They came to Miami. They went out.
Yeah, I ain't
they
like
come
that.
to Miami to get ready to
I
play
ain't
us.
Like that, boy. They come
it was
here
kind
to
of
party.
the club before the club.
Yeah, they was in the clubs longer than us.
Yeah.
We were leaving. They still.
I ain't like that.
A rematch of last year's Eastern Conference Finals.
Round 3, game 1. He pisses. Let's see what happens.
Like MJ, you got to go through Detroit. So you get another opportunity. And so what was different that second time around that pushed you all through to the finals?
Well, they were,
first
of all.
Now pain. Oof. Now you feel. Now the pain is driving. Now that's what's driving you now. Yeah. That's what drove you the whole summer. That was drove you the whole year. That's what I'm saying. And this is what I try to explain this to the young guys, man. And I can't explain it until you feel it. But until you get to the point where there's a certain pain that's kind of driving you in this, then I feel like you'll get to reach the pinnacle of what it is. Because if you look at all the teams that have won in the past, if you look at, Boston, the pain that Tatum and Brown had to go through before they got it. See, people don't talk about the sleepless nights. They talk about when we get to the top. Yeah. And I think that's what drove us, and I think that's what you have to endure. Very few teams are going to have an opportunity just to win it the first time they get together. You're going to have those sleepless nights. You're going to have that pain that's going to drive you, that's going to bring you closer together. And once again, you got to have, as much as me and Dwyane were alike, we weren't afraid to push each other and have those uncomfortable conversations when it needed to be had. And you have to get to that point, too, where it's like you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. So I think at that point, the next year we were driven. We were more prepared to hold each other accountable. We were more prepared to push each other. We were driven by the frustration and the pain of not getting it done last year.
Yeah, I think UD just said something important. Is when you play against a team like Detroit, you watched it, you felt that they had accountability amongst each other. They were like one string, and they played that way, man. They knew their game. No matter how well you played them, when it got down to the end, they knew what sets they were going to be in. They knew who was going to shoot the shots, where the shots was coming from. We learned a lot from them taking them beatings by Detroit. We learned a lot from a veteran team that was really, really good that will never beat themselves. And I think that's the one thing you got to understand when you go in and trying to become a champion is you can't beat yourself. Turning the ball over a lot, by not rebounding the ball, like all these things, these little things that is not on the PPGs, because everybody want to look at the PPGs, or everybody want to look at the rebounds or the things that are sexy. You gotta look at the things that are not sexy. And so when we watched Detroit, we realized that they never beat themselves, that we had to play damn near perfect to even beat them. And so getting our butt whooped by them was actually perfect because they taught us what we needed to do and how we needed to approach the game and approach ourselves to go out here and try to beat them.
For the first time in this franchise's history, 18 years in the league, the Miami Heat are off to the NBA championship.
Oh, I can't describe it.
In those first couple games against Dallas, Dirk was playing okay. You were about to put a little something extra on it later. But it was the support players for Dallas that were closing the deal. So was there at least some confidence that, you know what, we kind of got their biggest weapon under control?
You gotta let him speak on that because I had my hands full.
Yes, you did.
I had my hands
Lunch
full.
pail?
Man, I mean, and every time I see him, I just tell him thank you because he brought the best out of me on the biggest stage. And you don't know how you're going to perform. You don't know until you're there and until you're competing at that level. And so I can't really speak on everybody else. I was so focused on the task at hand, and some of this was out of fear because he was destroying people in the playoffs that year. I just remember watching.
Right.
And I remember my homeboys who I grew up with, like, hey, all right now.
Keep it coming.
Yeah.
You
got your
hands on the wheel.
you got your work cut out for you, Jack.
Did you feel like, okay, if UD keeps 41 over there, there's some hope we could get out of this.
I didn't know what UD was going to be able to do with 41. Well, we knew 41 was a bad boy.
Man.
I think the hard part of it was for me is we had never beat Dallas in our time here.
Yes.
Like we only played Dallas twice a year. And we didn't beat them our first year. We didn't beat them our second year. And we didn't beat them in the regular season our third year. So we never had success versus them. Then they smack us 2-0 in the finals. We still have never won. I need to see if we can win one game first. Just really
As
just
they're planning their parade, by the way.
Well, as we heard,
Make
there's
that
a little bulletin board things for us, but like ultimately that didn't matter. We had to win a game.
Heard a little bit.
Yeah, we heard they was planning, but also too they've been whooping our butt. So I get they like, yo, let's go ahead and get the city ready. But we had to come and prove to ourselves that we can actually beat that team. That team was very, very good, man. I think the Jerry Stackhouse of it all. Appreciate Jerry Stackhouse getting kicked out of that one game because he was a handful. We had nobody to we had guys guarding all kind of guys. We had nobody to check Jerry Stackhouse coming off the bench and Jason Terry was
Man.
I mean, bro, they were really good, and to me. I go back and say I felt like obviously in those first two games and the games before that they were always better than us. We found a way to be better than them for 4 games in a row.
UD, when did you know, okay, Dirk is who Dirk is, but I'm me. And if he's going to get something, it's going to take all day.
Once again, not wanting to let my teammates down. And I can't just say it was me. It was James Posey did a hell of a job. Posey did his job. I just felt like the key to winning that series was me to be able to somewhat contain Dirk and make things tough for him. And I felt like that was the key to the series. But I think Coach Riley kind of put it in my terms. I'm going to lock you in him in a room, and we're going to see who come out.
There it is.
And when Riles put it like that, I was like, oh, hell no. It got to be me. Like, it has to be me. And that don't mean I'm going to score more points.
Right.
But at the end of the game, we shall be victorious. So when I simplified it like that, and it was just like, listen, even when he's at the nail ISO, I want you to front him. Everything is physicality. Everything is aggressive. Everything is you versus him.
Nowitzki, tough shot defended well by Haslem.
Dirk is 1 for 7, and he's not getting a lot of good looks.
When you said about the other guys, I can't remember what the hell was going on with the other guys because literally this was me and Dirk. This is me and Dirk finals. I don't even know. Dwyane, thank you for your points and your contribution.
I know, bro.
This was me and Dirk finals. I can't. Everything else was a blur because I was so
your contribution.
Listen, everything else was a blur because I was so locked in on this task.
That's what it takes.
Part of it was once again the responsibility of taking care of my brothers. Part of it was driven off fear because this man was destroying people headed up into that finals. He was destroying people. It wasn't no joke.
Yeah. I think, the thing where people don't really understand is it's not just talent that wins championships. Everybody like to talk about, man, if I play with this guy, we're the one. It don't work like that. You know how much trust we had to have in that UD Dirk is one of the top, he's one of the greatest players of all time. UD is the guy who didn't get drafted. We need you to guard him. What?
Well.
There's trust. Dirk can get a shot off versus anybody. He can put that leg up on you, can't get to him, but play the percentages. If you're in his jersey all night long, you making sure you push him a little bit out of his comfort, we got a chance. And we watched UD committed to doing that. We had trust that he was going to do his job, and that allowed all of us to do our job.
Let's go to game 3. At the half, you're up 9. And then that third quarter, Dallas comes back, outscores you 34-16 in that third quarter. Now, before Dwyane made it clear what was going to happen in that game, what was the sense of the team? Was it still locked in, or hands getting loose on the rope? What's the dynamic?
I've never quit it. I've never quit anything in my life.
Yes, sir.
So I wasn't gonna quit that game. But if you go down 0-3,
it's about over for you.
Yeah, you
It's
might.
tough.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, Cancun, bring it in.
Yeah, gotcha.
So yeah, I think for us, I think we understood that 0-3 would be the end.
Yeah.
But
It was DEFCON.
yeah. So, but at that time, I don't think we felt like that anybody in the world could beat us 3 games in a row. Like, I understand, they had beaten us, but if you tell me that out of 3 games, all we got to do is win 1, I got to believe we can win 1 against anybody. So just focusing on that 1 game.
So in that fourth quarter, did you just get hot, or was that something else? Was that like a supernova? Was that
I don't know what
quintessential ocean? And you just
So listen, before we get to that, nobody gonna talk about my steal.
1-point game. Haslem with the steal. Here goes Haslem inside, stripped by Terry, and a foul.
I know he had fourth quarter heroics, which was amazing, by the way. But I still remember my steal.
Great
I think
steal.
I missed one of the free throws
You
because
did.
my arm was hurt. Damn, you remember me missing free throws?
Yeah, I clocked the whole thing. Shaq was in there too. Shaq got some free throws in there. He did the same thing. But that was a big steal. I remember your steal was at the top of the key. Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those moments, Jax, where, I got an opportunity. Here's the thing, like, he guarding. I actually get the ball, and we need some points going. Can't nobody guard me. In my mind, I'm like, all right, I've had 2, and I've almost had 3 games of seeing how this defense is going to guard me. Now I figured it out. So you know what, D? Let's go.
Wade on the drive, inside, banks it in.
What a move. Dwyane Wade strikes again. The heater back.
41 for Dwyane Wade.
I ain't going out like this. We didn't want to go down 3-0, man.
I'm talking to myself. I ain't going out like, not me. It ain't got nothing to do with the team.
You
What
said
I
it out
wanna do-
loud too, by the way.
I think I said it out loud, but I wasn't talking to nobody. I was talking to myself.
That's fantastic.
Because, like, everybody got their job to do.
Yeah.
Okay, if he's doing his job, I'm not doing my job yet. And so at that point, I was like, all right, I'm not going out like this. Because, one, I remember last year. I remember us crying in the locker room. I put my blinders on. When I see darkness, I just see the rim. I ain't see nobody else. I don't even think I passed in that.
See what happened when you black out?
Yeah, I blacked
tell
out.
you, I'm trying to
I
tell you,
blacked
it's
out.
a real
Different things
thing.
happen when I black
It's a
out,
real
but yeah.
thing.
I blacked out.
A stirring fourth quarter comeback. And the Miami Heat right back in the NBA Finals.
It ain't over.
We got that 1 win, and it's like, okay, chink in the armor. It's a game now. Y'all understand? In the series, it's mind games being played. So now they playing the game, and now it's public now, and then they moving hotels. There's a lot going on.
Right.
So now we got them. We got them where we want them.
For the first time in franchise history, there'll be a parade down Biscayne Boulevard.
Go down, hold it back. Win it back. Win. 2006 Miami Heat. Miami Heat.
Congratulations, MVP Dwyane Wade.
I did not understand what I really accomplished until we were standing up on that podium. We were all just little kids getting happy that we won. When they got to the finals MVP trophy, I was in the back. I wasn't thinking about it. And then when Shaq grabbed that trophy and get ready and handed it to me, I was like, oh.
There's no better response.
Oh, you a bad boy.
Here it is.
Yeah, I knew it at that moment.
06 also cemented a legacy for you.
I'm the MVP because I put up the points, but I say Udonis Haslem is our defensive MVP.
Shaq told me, man, on the way to the arena, I don't know how he knew it. I call him a prophet. He told me I was going to be big tonight. And I was big. I needed that game. We needed that game, and we got it.
Remember I told you earlier when sometimes you have those sleepless nights and pain drive you?
Yeah.
So mine's been driving me for a long time.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it wasn't just that one season. Yeah, mine's been driving me for a long time. It's been a lot of frustration, a lot of pain, a lot of sleepless nights for me. So I think that was the first time I was able just to exhale, exhale and feel like, I finally have arrived and I finally, for once, gotten the respect that I deserve.
I do have to say something going back to one of your earlier questions. Here goes an important moment for me that is a small moment, but it was a big moment. So so remember that Pat Riley took over early in the season. He came in and changed everything that we were thinking that we were going to do. He remember you did that first meeting. He came in, he challenged everybody, and he said, "What's GP's son's name? You know his kid's name? We didn't know each other.
You remember that?
Remember
Wow.
that? The first meeting,
Yeah.
he said, now I want y'all to leave here and go get to know each other. Y'all trying to go out here and play together. Y'all don't even know each other. So anyway, but one of the coolest moments in that year that was just like, these are small things, but it means a lot. We were in Philly, I believe, and it was just another day going to practice. And the bus didn't take the same route to practice. And we stopped off at the movie theater, and we watched a movie called Glory Road.
Glory Road.
I had no idea about Glory Road. I didn't know nothing about the story. I didn't know Pat Riley was in the story until we watched that movie. And then we got a chance to get a chance to now get to see Pat, a different version of him, because he was Sergeant Pat on the side. And then that was the first moment where we got a chance to have that fellowship with him. Right. And build something with him. So that moment that he took us to see Glory Road, that has a story about him in it. That was a big moment for our team. And also, too, we had no practice that day neither.
Come on.
That was a good
Man, listen.
That was a good moment.
That was
You're
a great
absolutely
moment.
right.
Because everything was whip when he came.
Yes.
Right.
And then he let that hair down a little bit. He let us into his world a little bit. And then now we got to see the guy that we was playing for. And we got to get the chance to know him a little bit at the same time. And so all these little things matter. And so I just wanted to bring that moment because that was a cool moment for us.
That was.
How did this trophy set the tone for the other two that were coming?
Oh, because after that.
Yeah, well, that's a standard now.
After that, there's no other thing. What are you talking about here?
Yeah.
That's the only thing.
Yeah, I don't know what else we're playing for. Now we know what it feels like.
That's the rest of our career.
Yeah, now we know what it feels like. Now we know what it feels like.
We ain't had those first 7
Well,
years
you
where
messed
you
it
just
up
out there
into the
getting numbers.
rafters for both of you and messed it up and put you in the Hall of Fame.
But the first 7 years, people get numbers. You know what I'm saying? They get their check right, they get their points right and all the things. And then they like, all right, now I want to go win a championship. We won one in year 3, so now that's all we care about. That's all we
was
think
naive
about.
because we just thought, oh yeah, we just gonna keep doing this and this. It don't work like that.
Nope. I think it's gonna sink in when we get our parade going in Miami, when all our fans get to come out and celebrate it with us, man, on Biscayne Boulevard, as Coach Riley and Shaq promised when they got here. So that's gonna be a special feeling.
What is it gonna feel like when you get back to Miami as an NBA champion in your hometown?
Man, I rep my city wherever I go. I always throw up the 305, man. I'm just happy to take this back to my town. It's big right here. This is the biggest thing that probably ever happened to this city. And I'm just happy to be a part of it, man. I'm just happy to be a part of it. It's a blessing.
Yo, what's up? I'm live right here at the parade. Check it out. Miami, what up?
Gentlemen, this is what this is all about. Reminisce and enjoy the fact that we're all still here. After that championship and 20 years later.
Blessing. Thank you.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you, brother. Happy anniversary, fellas.
Man, happy anniversary. Look at that ring.
Yeah, you see that?
Happy anniversary to you. Happy anniversary to all the fans that supported us at that time, especially when no one believed. All of our teammates, some we can't get in touch with. Happy anniversary, y'all, too.
We're going to find you.
You know who you are.
We're going to find you. You know who you are. You hiding. But, man, it took all of us. Not only just this team, but it took the whole city.
Yes,
so shout out to the city. Shout out to 305.
Happy anniversary to the 305.
For putting on with us, man, and for us as well.